man. Trust Palm Beach Connect. From Palm Beach Connect, ain't true.
I've been to Georgia, had some peaches, live in Florida, I know beaches.
So we did a little digging, and we were scoping through the YouTube and just SoundCloud. So you've been, you've had your hand in music for a little while now, you would say.
Yeah, I've been making music since really I was 13. I can't really put a year on that. I have to do a little bit of math. But since I was 13 and I'm 24 now, so about a good 11 years. Like it was just like really like my own hands just working on music and stuff.
And then what, at 11, that's very early. So what, made you want to get into music? Like, that's pretty young. Everybody else kind of like playing basketball and stuff like that. What were you doing?
I used to live more down like Lantana way, and even before Lantana, I lived in Deerfield, like Broward County in that area. And my dad used to preach, play piano and play drums at this one church. And I was just kind of always around that, like, growing up, But other than like, just church and stuff, like, it was more or less like I don't know. I think it was just like a drive. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just something like I see the power of music, and I see how like it brings people together, and how sometimes it can say those things that like, you could be in a car with something that you like have feelings for or something like that, and like you don't know what to say, they don't know what to say, but then you play like the right, Janae Eiko song or something like that, and it's like they say what you need to say, like, what I'm saying, what needs to be said is said. So I feel like that was always like a powerful thing, what I'm saying, it's something I've always wanted to get into,
I think that's really deep though, because basically you're looking at music as a language. You're looking at it as, communication, basically.
Yeah. When you're a kid, like, all right, like how I really got into piano was actually kind of funny, because like when I was in 4th grade, I went to this it was a private school actually when I was like, a kid, and we had music class. It wasn't music class, it was this lady, she was just telling us like, how to play like Mary Lou Lamb and stuff, but they had a piano up there, and in 4th grade there was this kid, he started playing Beethoven or Bach or something. He started playing some crazy shit, and all the girls were around him. I was like, damn, I hate that. I gotta have that. I hate it. I'm just playing. I wasn't hating, but it inspired me. I was like, you know what? I could do that. You know what I'm saying? More or less, like, I could do that. You know what I'm saying? So literally, I went home and I learned Ordinary People by John Legend. Like, I knocked out in like 2 days when I played.
You went from Mary Little Lamb to Ordinary People.
Yeah, but see, yeah, that was the thing, because I was around my dad. My dad, he used to tell me, because my dad and I used to stay at my godbrother's house. He used to tell me things. I used to play piano with him and stuff. But I was always around music. Like, like I said, I've always been around people playing piano and people doing things like that. So I always knew that there was more to this instrument than like, what they were giving me. So I went home, YouTube tutorials and things like that. Learned that shit in like a day or two.
The power of YouTube.
You literally, people underestimate it, for real. Like, honestly, it's a lot. It's also a tool, like, what I'm saying, because like I like to rap, I like to write music and things like that. But like, for me, what I really love is like making production, like producing and things like that, because I feel like that's more or less, that speaks to the language that I was speaking about earlier, how it just kind of says things that don't need to be said. And I feel like that shit it's powerful.
Do you like to produce more like other people's music, or do you like do your own music? Like, so what side are you really, pushing more right now?
Right now at this point where I'm at, growing up, I've been rapping most of my life, what I'm saying? Like, I've always been rapping. I've always been writing. I've always been like, just forming like, words and ideas and things like that. As I'm getting older, like I started getting more into like, when I was 13, 14, 15, when I was in high school, I started getting more into like, producing for myself and putting like, beats, samples and things like that, music that I grew up with, putting it like, instituting in my music and stuff. And like, I feel like that is calling me a little bit more sometimes, just because it's like, I guess because, I'm still kind of new. Like I've always been writing. Like, honestly, ever since I've been able to put like my hand on paper, like that's always been what's been going on. So like that's always been going on. But like as I'm getting older, and I kind of do want to say what needs to be said. I kind of don't want to fill the air just up with this stuff. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people. I mean, I'm not here to down like anybody or any form of music or anything like that. But I just don't want to be the type to just put stuff out there that's just out there for the sake of just being out there. You know what I mean? So.
You're more of a quality person.
Yeah, I prefer quality. I like quality. You know what I'm saying? And that's. Personally, if you were to ask me, that's something I would want to bring to the table. Like, you know, as far as like music goes, like in South Florida, like, you know what I'm saying, a lot of times I feel like people rush all the time. Like, well, some people drop like some dope shit, some really dope shit. You know what I'm saying? It was good, it was great, but I noticed like right after they dropped it, like other people just started like putting just shit out, like because they felt like, you know, they had to keep up what just happened. And I mean, that's how you get down, sure, that's how you get down. But I feel like it's me personally, if I'm speaking for myself, I feel like I'm more or less like the type of person just, all right, I know what I got. I could wait. That was dope. That was good. That was cool. I'm gonna fuck with that. I'm gonna fuck with you. But it's like, you know, at the end of the day, I gotta know for myself. I gotta fuck with myself more than anybody else. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it sounds kind of cruel. It's not cruel, but it sounds kind of like, you know, like, coldish, I guess. People say it can be cold, but I feel like it's more or less like if we all thought like this, you know what I'm saying? Like everyone thought like on the same film, like the same realm of like, you know, I'm gonna take care of mine. I'm gonna make sure I'm good enough to take care of other people. Then, you know, I feel like things will change. And sometimes I feel like it's just doing things by example. So it goes back to what I was saying earlier about like I just don't want to fill the air up with just stuff. I just want to do stuff, like, you know what I'm saying? So.
Wow, that's definitely more than music, because I mean, you at the same time are on your music, and you know, you produce your music, so you're making sure it's of great quality. Because I do see there was a little bit of a gap from the last thing you've done to this one, so that definitely shows that, you know, you took your time with this. You definitely, you know, didn't rush it, as you say. So how long did this project actually take you?
That's a good question, because I want to say a year. Some, like how it works is like some of it's Florida Night, Salt of the Earth, and then Letters from the Bottom. Some of the stuff from Salt of the Earth was actually throwaways from Florida Nights. You know what I mean? And some of the stuff from Letters from the Bottom were throwaways from Salt of the Earth. So it's like some beats and some songs I actually sit on for years. Like I'm actually sitting on some of these beats for like years. Yeah, it's I say, yeah, this project about a year. I say about a year. Like, you know, if I had to give you like a concise answer. But it's really a lot of the music is just, I'm just sitting on it, you know, I'm just waiting on it, like, you know, not waiting on it, but like I said, I don't want, like, if I'm writing a song sometimes and I get to a part where, like, you know, not so much I don't know what to say next, it's just I find myself saying something redundant, or find myself saying something like, you know, not worth saying. I really just won't even touch it for like another, like, you know, month or so until I find something worth saying on it, you know, and, you know, from there, smooth sailing.
I get it. I feel that. I do.
Thanks.
Do you have a favorite song from Letters from the Bottom?
I actually heard Frank Ocean say this shit one time in an interview, and it was actually really true. I think about it. It's almost like, I can't say that. It's like having like kids and saying one of your kids is your favorite. It's like, nah, it's kind of fucked up. But if I had to, like, you feel me, if I had to choose, a lot of people are giving me a lot of good feedback about New Money. New Money, No Bullshit, the first track, No Bullshit, New Money, and Waves with Lexi. People actually resonating with those a lot. So those are the ones that I'm really seeing a lot of feedback from and stuff.
That's the one that people are feeling more, but which one do you feel like were you feeling more? Which one really like dug into your Letters from the Bottom? Okay,
honestly, I didn't say two really. It was really like, so like I said, I had songs that I was sitting on, and the songs that really gave me like that, like, okay, you need to make a album, or like you need to do like a project, or this needs to be something that needs to, like, you know, be surrounded by like other songs, was actually When I See You Calling, my song When I See You Calling, because that one I really did, like, I was getting really personal, like, you know, this project I really wanted to get personal with people who fuck with me, you know, people who like were fans from, I wouldn't say fans, you know, like I feel like I'm still nobody from nowhere. But that's the stopping point. But I feel like the people who I really fuck with, I want to make something for them. So I feel like When I See You Calling was really like the one that like I say is my favorite. That's my favorite. You know, for emotional value. Like, you know what I'm saying? It has a lot of emotional value behind it. So, but then No Bullshit too. So No Bullshit was like really the one that tied it all together for me. I'm trying to work it out. I'm trying to work out the kinks right now. So it's up in there. It's up, you know, it's up there.
Up in the air.
Yeah.
Trying to do it like Rihanna. I mean, can we get like a 2 months, maybe 3 months, maybe?
I don't know. Honestly, I say give about 2 months. I'm a friend of mine, my friend Buck. He usually sets up shows. He does the Respect the Vibe shows. Me and him are usually, you know, we're in cahoots. So we're trying to make things work. Yeah, if we can get some shit popping between me and him, then yeah, I'll let you know. I'll let the world know. I'll let you post on my Instagram. Instagram is @Reuben Stratum. Fuck with me.
What artists would you say were most inspiring to you?
I definitely say Kanye West. A lot of people, they hear it in my music, you know, they tell me, it's like, did you try to be Kanye? And it's not so much that, it's just so much that, like, that's what I grew up on. I was raised in church. I was listening to a lot of Christian rap, like, you know, Lecrae, Tedashii, Tripley, like them boys. They're honestly really dope, like, too, and I really fuck with them. But that's what I was listening to, like, when I was, like, middle school, and, like, you know, elementary, middle school. But then, like, I got into, like, 6th or 7th grade, I think, and the thing is, at my godmother's house, you know, my godbrother, he'd be playing everything. He'd be playing like Tribe Called Quest, you know, Wu-Tang. He'd be playing like, you know, Eminem, any new Eminem. Like he'd just be playing all this stuff. He'd be playing all this music, and he just never told me who it was. It was just like, you know, it was there. It was just a vibe, and you know, that's what I woke up listening to and stuff like that. And I was away from home. You feel me? Away from mommy and daddy. So you know what I'm saying. But you know, when I got back around mommy and daddy, it was like, you know, just Christian shit. Kanye West really kind of bridged that gap for me though, because like, at least for me in my own time, because like, I don't know, a lot of people in church, like be in the world but not of it, you know. Like he was someone who was really speaking that message, that same message that you know these guys were speaking, like Lecrae and Tripley, but it was like, it was different, you know. It was like alive, you know what I'm saying? It was like, all right, he was feeling the things I would feel, but like, you know, a lot of times in church they make you feel like a type of way for feeling those things, you know what I'm saying? But he would speak about it, and it's like, damn, that's how I feel him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't say it to help but say I feel him, you know what I'm saying? And so from there, it was just like, I started delving into, if he sampled somebody or something, I listened to the sample that he sampled, you know what I'm saying? Who was this? It was like, you know, some Aretha Franklin stuff. It was Ring, or da-da-da. I started digging deep into his stuff, whoever he worked with, the people that he worked with, things like that, and how to go about features, you know, things like that. And I'm talking about early Kanye, but I say as far as like content, really, I say Frank Ocean. I'm gonna be real. Like Frank, when I heard Nostalgia Ultra albums, I was like, damn, this is songwriting. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is songwriting. Like, this is what it's supposed to be. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was crazy. It goes back to what I was saying earlier. You know what I'm saying? It's just like how there's this language. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was just really learning the language. Like Kanye West, he really just kind of opened me up to like, okay, look, there's a whole broad range of language, and I just started delving into it for myself through different artists. So this is Reuben Stratum with Palm Beach Connects, More Than Music.
You know, I just want to shout out everybody I can within like a 30-second time frame. You know what I'm saying? Shout out like my father. Shout out Santa Lucia, G-Star, Park Vista. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can just go ahead and tell Buck.